cataclysmic
I'm not a
impact.
climate denier, Chicken God 37.
If you're not a climate denier, then you should recognize that the damage that is going to be done within the next few decades is tantamount to the apocalyptic. It is beyond anything that we have dealt with. This isn't some, oh, we've invented factories so people move closer to the city near the river so they can work in them. This is the entire planet's architecture fundamentally changing. This is hundreds of millions of people being displaced from coastal cities. This is an increase in temperatures that will lead to some areas of the Earth being inhospitable. The deserts will crawl across. The Sahara will grow larger than it's ever been in history.
Romantic, poetic language.
Whoa. I don't appreciate the condescension from a Zoomer, my friend. This isn't romantic, like, prose. This is what will happen. And it is the blithe dismissal of people like you that has allowed this issue to progress to this point.
Not really. I'd actually argue it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. So you saying how romantic is precisely the attitude that will lead towards this problem.
Here, let me actually make the statement I was going to make without interrupting you.
I wasn't even done with my statement before you interrupted it. Class 5 hurricanes will rake the planet, the temperatures will rise, the forests will burn, the deserts will crawl across the world. This is not like the Industrial Revolution. This is an entirely new problem, and it's bigger than one we've ever dealt with.
I don't think it is.
Then you're just out of line. I'm sorry. Of course, our presuppositions are going to be different if you disagree with the scientific literature of the consequences that will take place within the next few decades.
Let me make my point. The Industrial Revolution literally flipped everything about society.
No, it didn't. It meant that people who were poor in the fields moved and were poor in the factories. That is not the same as the entire planet for every single person on Earth fundamentally changing. I'm sorry. This is a degree of it. Listen. I love ideological disagreement. I build my career off of it. But I have no idea what to do if you unironically believe that the Industrial Revolution even fucking compares to the damage that will be done to the planet on account of climate change. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I think when you think about, women finally entering the workforce, that's largely a product of the Industrial Revolution.
You really are a liberal. You actually believe the end of the world means less than a minor change in how the bourgeois obtain their wealth from the proletariat.
Minor change.
Yes, it is. You know what would be
becoming employed?
Minor change. That is a minor change compared to climate change. You're delusional. You realize that, right? You unironically just answer like, oh yeah, the world may change. Do you realize women started working during the Industrial Revolution? What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, I never realized the extent to which you romanticize your language until right now, because
you can't deal nothing. Wait. The fact that you think that's romanticized language is an indication of your ignorance. Everything I described is literally out of the pamphlet. It's literally out of the pamphlet for what will happen to this planet under climate change. If anything, I might be understating some of the effects. You realize if we hit 3 degrees Celsius higher than the average predicted temperature that is currently taking place, we might enter a feedback loop where we continue to trap more greenhouse gases until this planet is literally inhospitable to human life. Not just, oh, we'll have to move further inland. Not just, oh, the sea levels will rise. Not just, oh, the Sahara will get bigger. Literal extinction event. Possible, unless we deal with it. This isn't romantic language. This is included in the climate change reports that have been filed through the UN. The fact that you're willing to blithely dismiss it in your desperate attempt to cling to the status quo is evidence that it is people like you who are responsible for fucking this world over.
Speaking. This is just really rude, to be honest. All right, well, what I was going to say is that a lot of the claims that you've made about climate change in the past actually degrade from the cause of preventing it. I think you falsely attribute that 70% statistic. 100 companies contribute 70% of carbon emissions. I think you falsely use that in a way that well, from the context that you've used it in, right? You've made it seem like individual action is unimportant.
Yes, it is. In the broader context of things, a change in the system is what's needed, not a change in people's individual habits. This is agreed upon by everyone who studies climate science. The idea that just recycling more and buying more biodegradable materials is going to fix the planet is fantasy, perpetuated by people like you who are more interested in making sure that the profit margins of the bourgeois are not interrupted as we attempt to prevent the world from ending. Yes,
yeah, totally,
systemic change is necessary. You're doing it, dude. You're fucking the earth. Does it feel good? Is this you losing your virginity here live on stream as you disseminate ideology which is identical to that which the bourgeois have perpetuated to ensure that they don't have to live off 1 yacht instead of 4?
Yeah, dude, epic. With my total bourgeois
Is it embarrassing to be coming live on stream in front of 2K people with your mom there? Can she see the ropes firing into your fucking tidy whities? This is fucking embarrassing.